Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to you LT Gamers. Today I'm bringing you my top Warhammer 40k games to play in 2023 and beyond. Now I am a huge fan of Warhammer 40k, but mainly the video games. As a kid, of course, I did get a lovely 40k board game for Christmas, but overall my main experience of the franchise has always been through video games. I am a massive fan of Space Hulk, but have left those games off the list. I actually really do enjoy the 2013 full control version of Space Hulk, which is no longer available on Steam, sadly. I am planning a future feature video on the Space Hulk franchise. I think it will be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that one. With list videos, I think it is important to manage expectations. This is simply how I felt about Warhammer 40k games when I woke up this morning, so don't be offended if I left your favourite game off the list. Like many of you, my opinions of games can change from day to day and year to year. Also, this list is in no particular order, but the Warhammer games that I'm enjoying the most at this current time are later on in the video. Now, with your expectations firmly set, let's jump into the action. To kick us off, we have 2018's Warhammer Mechanicus, where you get to take control of the most technologically advanced army in the Imperium, the Adeptus Mechanicus. When this game first came out, I struggled a little bit with it because it was very text and reading heavy. I do actually enjoy those sort of games, but for some reason, I just didn't have the patience at the time. However, I went back to it, and the fact that it runs lovely on Steam Deck is a huge bonus and brought me back to the game. It's certainly a very high class and unique strategy game. The game is clearly appreciated by the fans and sits at very positive with over 92% approval rating on Steam. However, it sits a little bit lower down the list because I haven't played as much of it as I would like, but I think it's one I'm going to try out over the new year and maybe into 2024. Certainly one to revisit. Next up is 2023's Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun. This game is where you get to load up your Boltgun and unleash the awesome Space Marine arsenal to blast your way through an explosion of sprites, pixels and blood in a perfect blend of Warhammer 40,000. So far I've only logged around 3 hours on this game, but it's an absolute explosive retro blast from the past. It's a total gore fest, and honestly, on Steam Deck, it's a real joy, and I see myself logging a lot more hours into this one. In defense of my playtime, I've actually only owned the game for 24 hours, and I've been playing it exclusively on Steam Deck while the kids were annoying me, and it was a really great distraction. I see myself going back, trying different difficulty levels, and also trying to find all of those elusive secrets. The fans on Steam clearly agree with me, as it sits at very positive with an overall 88% rating. Now look, I don't always go with the consensus, but if you are a person who likes to, it's always nice to see this backed up by Steam reviews. Coming up next, we have Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. This game is an absolute classic where you get to play as a Space Marine, Captain Titus, who is a member of the Ultramarines chapter and a seasoned veteran of countless battles. I remember this game when it came out in 2011 as an absolute instant classic and really enjoyed the vibe, the destruction and the gore. The reason I think it should be included on this list in 2023 is the fact that we have a sequel coming, and it would be great to play through the original to remind you of all the 40k goodness this game contains. Once again, this is totally backed by Steam reviews, very positive with an 88% overall rating. If you want to play this one on the move, it is playable on Steam Deck. There is some issue with small text, but overall is a great experience. We do have a few games on this list published by Slitherine, a company that me and Tom have a great relationship with, and we do enjoy a number of their games. The first of these is Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon, which is a hex-based turn-based strategy game where players lead the Imperial forces of the Armageddon Steel Legion and the Space Marines against an orc invasion. Now this one is a particular favourite of mine. It has very simple graphics and presentation, but the gameplay is extremely immersive. We all know that on this channel I really like war games, and I think that this is one of the best Warhammer 40,000 war games that we're going to get. Back when all I had was a simple laptop, this gave me hours of joy, and it also runs extremely well on the Steam Deck although you're going to have to modify the controls to be comfortable. But if you're looking for a classic hex-based wargame, you can't go far wrong with this one, and Steam agrees with me, very positive with an over 80% rating. If you do manage to get into this one, there are also a number of DLC to add extra scenarios, and they ended up making an entirely different game called Armageddon Orcs, which also I really enjoy, so check that one out as well. It will probably come as no surprise that Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 2 is on this list. It goes back all the way to 2009. But there is no denying that this set the bar for Warhammer 40,000 games, and to this day it remains a really fun experience. If by some small chance you haven't played this game, then it's a fast action RTS that builds on the original experience. However, it innovated by being very focused on individual squad tactics. There were also some really great multiplayer modes, including Last Stand, which Tom was an absolute ace at. To this day, the game is a wonderful experience and really does age quite well. Once again, it is very positive on Steam, and you can play this on Steam Deck, but it does have a few issues that you need to work around. This game set the absolute bar. The only reason it's not higher up the list is because I haven't played a lot of it lately, but still, I could not leave this one off. It's an absolute classic. It's just a real shame about its sequel, Dawn of War 3. Yeah, let's move on, right? If you've made it this far into this list video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you're new here. Both me and Tom really appreciate the interaction, and as a small channel, we want to grow, so help us make it happen. So we move into the top 3 of the games I've been enjoying the most in 2023. And to start us off, we have Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, in this fast-paced, turn-based tactical RPG. Now, the thing that blew me away about this game when I first played it was the presentation. The graphics, the explosions and the sound are absolutely on point. The game is challenging, it makes you think, and it also rewards people who are patient and enjoy coming up with successful strategies. There are some massive fights in this game and some brilliant sound effects. Honestly, this one really captures the spirit of 40k for me. Now, I did see when this came out it was very well received, and that slowly dropped away. I think the difficulty put some people off. However, I enjoy the challenge. I mean, I play Space Hulk and have beat Space Hulk, so perhaps I like difficult games more than I thought. One thing to remember with this one is it is not compatible with Steam Deck, and I have heard that people have tried it and it runs very poorly. Overall, this game really impressed me, and it's an engaging space opera that really succeeds in what it sets out to do. Just be prepared for that difficulty spike. We have another entry from Slytherin on the list, and that is of course Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War. We have a really popular quick review on this, so I'll make sure to link that in the description also if you want more detail. Essentially, in this one, 4 factions will engage in a brutal war for dominance over the planet's resources. In the first turn-based 4x strategy game set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, you will lead one of 4 unique factions. Now, over time, of course, they have added to this with DLC, and I have no problem with that, although many people commented on the review that they thought that it was too much. To be honest, I was always happy to support this product as I had so many hours in it. I think currently around 380 hours on Steam. It's a wonderful 4X product that is very much focused on war. I mean, what do you expect set in this universe? I've also had some really great multiplayer games, including ones where me and Tom have linked up to take down multiple enemies. It's so much fun. Now, despite a very loud minority who weren't happy with the DLC, the Steam reviews back this up as it is rated overall very positive. I'm really pleased to see that the people who played this game actually enjoyed it. Also, Gladius is a really good experience on the Steam Deck. Now, with the amount of mouse that you have to use, you wouldn't think that it is, but my experience has been that it runs really well and is quite comfortable to play. This game can be picked up really cheaply in 2023, and what are you waiting for? Get down to Gladius Prime and fight for dominance of the planet. The top spot on this list goes to Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector, a game published by Slytherin. Now, I recently picked this one up and I've been unable to put it down. It's an excellent game, and I've also been enjoying the DLC, The Demons of Khorne. Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector is a fast-paced, turn-based strategy game set, of course, in the grimdark universe of the 41st millennium. You get to pick your force, develop your army, and field mighty heroes in the fight for victory using superior strategy, awesome abilities, and devastating weaponry. What more could you possibly want? I think the reason that this game had such an impact on me lately is because it's a real challenge. I found myself obsessed with playing the same scenario over and over till I could win. I fired up the Demons of Khorne DLC and I found myself fighting the Tyranids over and over until I won. I didn't get frustrated or bored, I just really wanted to keep playing. That is the sign of a great game. I also think that Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector is one of the best reflections of the actual board game. If I was going to make one small criticism, it's that the DLC is a little overpriced, especially when compared to Gladius. However, putting that aside, this has been my favourite Warhammer 40k game in 2023, and I hope that continues into 2024. If any of you are looking for a battle, I would totally be up for it. I've got pretty good with the Demons of Khorne at this stage. Once again, this can be enjoyed on Steam Deck as it is fully verified. It's also great to see that Steam agrees with me with a 90% overall rating at very positive. Now for me, that really isn't the be-all and end-all for a game, as there are many games which have low Steam ratings that I actually enjoy. But with this list, it tends to be that the consensus agrees with me. So if you're looking for that really authentic Warhammer 40,000 experience, do go out and check out Battle Sector today. So there we go, LT Gamers, an absolute odyssey of a list, and let's just say there are many games in the 40k universe which I could have included. But overall, these are the ones that sit best with me at this current time period. Now, there's one last thing for me to say before I go. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. I had to do that, I've always wanted to do that. Anyway, I've been Luke from LT Gaming, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.